Hi, and welcome to our video series on auctions. How does auction work and tips to bid? It's a very nerve-wracking event when you have to rock up to an auction and try to buy a home. If it's a dream home, even more scary. If you buy an investment property, you're a little bit reserved. Uh, Rocking up to an auction and buying a property might sound a little scary. So this video is just to give you some few tips and tricks on how it really works and um, just to calm your nerves a little bit and see how you can try and bid in an auction. Hopefully, you enjoy the video. Okay, firstly, auction. Prepare yourself well as it's an unconditional purchase. So that's one of the most important thing is when you go and buy in an auction, you have purchased the property. So there's no backing out once you buy the property. So before you go and bid in an auction, please make sure you've done all your homeworks and because once you win the auction, you purchase the property and there's no backing out whatsoever. Okay, so how does it work? Okay, so for just a few pointers in here. First, before you go to an auction, get a pre-approval and get the solicitors to check all the contracts and all the inspection reports are done on time. So if you have strata inspection, pest and building inspections, please make sure all those are done before you go and bid in an auction so that you know the property is safe and sound and you liked it. Okay, so be familiar with the auction process and the deposit criteria. So what we mean by be familiar with the auction process is technically saying know how the auction works. So in very simple terms, in an auction, there is an auctioneer, the real estate agent, the buyers, and the vendor. The vendor is the seller. The seller keeps a reserve on a certain property. So let's say the reserve is $1 million and the auctioneer starts the bid and then people start bidding. You could bid under $1 million. It can start from 800, 900, $1 million, but normally they don't sell till they reach the reserve. Once the reserve is reached or you cross the reserve, then the property is on the market. And once the hammer is bid one, two, three, call, that's when the property is sold. Okay. Sometimes when the reserve is not met as well, they might sell the property, but it might be a separate negotiations altogether. So it's in very simple terms. You go out for an auction, people start bidding, the highest bidder wins the bid. Okay. And then once everything happens, you bought the property. Okay. As soon as you buy the property, you have to pay a 10% deposit. I always get questions as how do we go and pay the 10% deposit? My bank limit is only $20,000 per day. Always check with the agent. I'm sure they have some kind of arrangements like you can pay 20 now and after the auction, but always check with the agent what the criteria is. Okay. Now, the next one is before you go to the auction, please make sure you know the value of the property and you keep your cards close to the chest. So what it means is you always check with us, check with the broker, but make sure you keep you don't give the property out to the real estate agent what you're thinking to buy and stuff. So just keep it to the chest. They have their own numbers, you have your own, and thing. Be wary of dummy bidders. Look, it's not. Prevalent these days, but it was very prevalent in the previous decade as to being dummy bidders. But coming this season, at this time, it's not that prevalent. So, but just be mindful. You never know. Be prepared to walk away. So if it's way too beyond your budget, please try and see. Look, please don't get carried away because that's one of the reasons people do auctions and try negotiating pre-auctions. What that means is if you get an opportunity to buy the property before the auction, please do so. Put in your best offer to the auctioneer or sorry, to the real estate agent, and they might accept your offer. Okay, so those are the things. Now, how to bid and win in an auction. So now you've decided, okay, this is the property I'm going for. I'm going to think. Okay, obviously, there is no gold magic to this, but obviously the highest bidder wins at the end of the day, have lots of cash. But besides that, there are a few things where you want to be very confident. I think the real word is confidence. When you go to the auction, be confident. Number one thing is I see a lot of auctioneers these days that they put a price guide. Let's say it's $1 million, but the properties are selling for 1.2, $1.3 million. Please be mindful. You do your research on the property and don't think like it's $1 million. I'm just going to go and get it for $1 million. It's very rarely that happens. So they might just underquote it and be selling it for higher price. Okay, so be clear and confident and don't rush. That's the number one. So when you're going to auction, be confident, be clear, and don't let them be in control of you. Okay, be the opener bidder if possible. I know everyone comes and tells me, hey, Denjola, I'm only just going to keep quiet. If I get, if the last person is a little bit lower, then I'm going to bid. That's fine as well. There's no right or wrong strategy. But again, if you are the first one to bid, it shows you've got the confidence. People are a little scared of you. You want to intimidate the other person. So that's what it says. Watch your competitors. So look, in an auction you'll see like 30, 40 people turn up, but please be mindful, almost 25 of them are just neighbors or somebody from the real estate agent or somebody from friends and family. There are only 4 or 5 people actually bidding. So watch your competitors, who they are, and be mindful of that. Stick to your budget, as I said, but again, don't go with a very low budget, because that's just hoping in an auction. Okay. And please keep your budget as an odd number. What that means is, if your thing is 550, you want to keep a budget of 555, so that you know that you are slightly, you have that extra buffer. Okay. Last one is be in control and set the pace, so that you know that, okay, you are in control, no one's forcing you to do something. And look, like, we are all very smart, educated people here trying to get things right, but however, sometimes you get carried away with the auction process. So yeah, if there's anything I can help you outside, just give me a call, or just give anybody from our office a call, and we are always here to help you and guide you through the process. Okay, all the best for the auction, and we hope to see the contract of sale in a desk fairly soon. And yeah, talk to you soon. Cheers, bye. Oh yeah, thank you for watching, and happy bidding and good luck. That's what it's supposed to be. Cheers, bye.